Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is part of Star Wars Saturdays, the first Star Wars Saturdays of 2024. Very excited. And we are playing a game called After // Burner, which I found on Itch. It is a very cool game that just recently had a new version of it released. It's by Ryan Lucas. It's illuminated by LUMEN, LUMEN, which is an RPG system. And that is what we'll be playing it in Star Wars. Our characters are X-Wing fighter pilots, but to make room for the Afterburners system, they are flying slightly experimental X-Wings that have different configurations, only slightly different configurations. And where they are currently, is the timeline is post Return of the Jedi, not quite to the Mandalorian. And while Disney said all of everything is legends, I'm pulling in, much like Disney also does with a particular Thrawn. I'm pulling in the idea of Warlord Zinj, who is a person from the books, who said, "Oh, Palpatine's dead. That's a bummer. But I've got this big slice of the galaxy I'm going to keep control of." So it's an Imperial remnant, which is canon due to Mandalorian, and they are currently on the planet which I named and now is in one of bajillion tabs that I have up. So let me grab it again. It's nope, that's not where it is. Dang it. I had everything. Abafar, which fans of the Clone Wars may remember as a very interesting sand planet that is on the edge of Zinj's empire. There's a base, uh, and we begin the session with four X-Wing fighters in a squadron flying in formation. And your comms crackle to life. I'm doing a cold open. It's gonna be crazy. See how it goes. Your comms crackle to life as ground control interrupts your drowsy routine flight. Go squadron. Be advised, we're picking up bogies inbound from orbit. The general would like you to advance to visual range before hailing and confirm ID. Just then, your scanners come into range. Uh, that seems to be a lot of bogeys. It's probably just atmospheric sand playing with the signals, probably. So we shall jump immediately into the hardest part of the game with the LiDAR grid. Yes. So we're gonna jump straight into the action, and I think it'd be cool as we step into it um, if Alan, as you being the commander, you can introduce yourself in the furball. I will go ahead and drop in the picture of what you see, the bogey that you see. Where are you? There you are. It's not that big. I'll make it smaller, friends. But right in the middle of the furball is a Gazanti class cruiser, which you all would know is a TIE fighter carrier. It's just dropped out of light speed and is piercing through orbit heading towards. So, Alan, give us a quick intro. What does your X-wing look like that indicates its slight configuration, and who do we see in the cockpit?
So yeah, we see Edge Antigua, um, Ghost One, commanding Ghost Squadron. Um, he's graying. He's been around the block quite a lot. Um, was in early at the time of the rebellion, and has worked his way up to command a squadron that he doesn't know very well yet. This is his first sortie in command. I don't know how much the others know one another, but he's read the files and he's nervous about some of them. Um, And what makes this experimental X-wing different is it has 3 quite big missiles kind of bolted underneath it, because he's carrying what in the game are called cruise missiles.
Nice. And if you want to reflavor that to Star Wars, feel free, but cruise missiles are fine with me. Sweet. Why don't you ask everyone to check in, and then we'll see who jumps up to introduce their character.
This is Ghost One. Squadron check-in and confirm bogies. Hopper, check in.
Ghost 2 here. As you said, Hopper, call sign. I am currently flying an interceptor version of the X-Wing. And you know that Hopper, his file will say he isn't fully cleared for everything because he's actually an ex-Imperial that switched sides after some shenanigans, and he now flies for the Republic. But you know that he's a damn good pilot. Um, who knows? You may have fought against him in the past.
May well. Banshee, check in.
There's definitely like a 5 second dead air pause before like the line opens and you hear that song that I've linked for just like a hot second before like the volume goes down. So it's like just bass line in the back. Yeah, Banshee call in, signal, whatever. I'm here. And we see like it goes over and we see this like very sleek vessel, and we see just like literally lounging in the chair, like head bopping along the music, feet up on the console, just like literally like probably using a booted foot to steer like the wheel a bit to get it to turn slightly right in this moment. Just a young Devronian man. And if you look at his file, it's an interesting collection of juxtaposition. Uh like he got arrested a couple of times for some speed racing illegally before he kind of started fighting with the Alliance and with all y'all. And there's like these all these like things like demerits kind of for like not necessarily listening to orders or taking the dangerous route, but all of his missions end extremely successfully with like notes like, I have no idea how this kid got into this like through like this one really small slip through area, but he did, and he nuked all the rebel, all the bad Imperials. And there's like a note like, watch him around explosives, and just yeah, money like money driven, just things like that, just little notes like post-its.
Hot shot. And finally, Big Brother, check in.
Yeah, your big brother's here. It's me. It's me, Dio Repair. You know, they say your last name often comes from what your people did, and it's good because I one day would hope to retire. It's not today, obviously, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, I'm here. You're piloting an X-wing. It has under the nose, it has an auto turret, so kind of like just a little stubby, I imagine twin-barreled auto turret, and on the back, his astromech, he has what looks like what we would think of as a rocket launcher strapped to the side of it. This is a repair drone launcher, and so his astromech kind of wheels around and spits out repair drones. If you were to look at his jacket, his file, of course, it's actually really thin. It lists a lot of engagements he's in, a lot of battles, but there's no real notes of whether he distinguished himself. There's nothing, no hot shot piloting. There's really nothing. It seems as if he's just been around for a while.
Big Brother, incredibly average.
Incredibly average, and an Ardennian, I should have spoken. So he's actually a little smaller in the X-Wing. He's got his 4 arms. There's a lot of different like consoles he can flick and stuff like that. So 2 arms are piloting, the other 2 are operating the repair drone launcher. Yeah.
Big Brother and Hopper standoff. Banshee, take the lead.
Oh, you don't have to tell me twice. So should I place where I am or where I think I would be?
Yeah, go ahead. So let's jump into it. Don't forget, you might be looking at my screen, but if you want to make changes, you need to do it on your screen. But you can also just indicate to me and I can drop it. So each of these should move. If you click on it, be careful. Like you just need to wait for the hand to show up and then you'll be able to adjust it. All right. Sweet. So you're jumping into the danger zone.
Yes.
Great. As you pop into the danger zone, this is not a capital ship, but I'm going to generally use the capital ship rules for this Gozanti class cruiser in that it's going to be in the furball. It will not move ranges. But as you move into danger zone, you've got perfect view of it deploying TIE fighters. These are the classic TIE fighters. So the LN designation, nothing super special, no shields, but they are really wicked fast. Now each Gozanti can carry up to 6, and this one is deploying all of them. They're all in the furball as you come in past visual range and coming into the danger zone. You can, from danger zone, perfect distance to lock on missiles and torpedoes. So you have a little bit of room to breathe. You feel free, if you would like, to try to take a shot if you'd like to do that. Otherwise, tell me what you want to do.
So do we inherently know that these are bad guys essentially?
Yeah, they're in ties, they're imperial designations. If you want to try to identify a friend or foe to see if they're splinters, I mean, you've heard of such a thing. Maybe they've come here to turn themselves in. Who knows?
Okay, so no, these are bad guys. Can I just like immediately nuke them?
You could try.
Yeah, I'd like to try to just immediately nuke them.
That sounds amazing. So let's take a look at the nuke rules because I don't know
Actually,
them.
oh, real sorry, I am back and forth shenanigans. I definitely want to try to go off scopes first though. Then I'll nuke.
Arm hits all bands and PCs in effective band range. So you just want to like zip in and drop a nuke on them.
Yeah, I want to zip in undetected, off scope, and then drop a nuke and get out.
Okay, so first you need to, I think you need to activate your off. Otherwise, they're going to see you, right? And you want to be off
Yes.
scopes. So let's
Yes,
have
please.
you spend an SA to activate that. And let's talk about what you can do. On a player turn, end any effects, no problem. Reactor management. Did you want to divert any power to shunt a power to something? We talked briefly about that. In that you could shunt or divert weapons thrusters or shields to shunt it to increase any of these if you would like. You don't have to because you're just right at the start and your plan is to slip in and drop a nuke. That's a-okay if you want to not worry about reactor management. But that is that's the very first. And then in this order, you move your fighter into an adjacent range on the LiDAR. Oh, so move your fighter into an adjacent range band. Oh, okay. Sorry. So that means you can drop into visual range at this point. Sorry. I apologize.
He would have been in. Oh, okay. So I can't start in danger. I have to start in
Right.
visual.
Yeah, you have to approach them. They approach you, that kind of thing. You're coming in hot and you drop into visual range. So, take an action, which would typically be a die roll with one of your attributes. And you can still, if the range is correct for your nuke, let's take a look.
Nuke has range 1.
Range 1, which means it can go into another range band.
Okay, so can I then, as part of my, so let's see. Okay, so I have, if I started with 4 SA, right?
Correct.
That's essentially like 4 actions.
It is not. It's like 4
Okay.
points that you can
4
use
points,
to
okay.
power stuff.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be able to shield. You wouldn't be able to because it's a maneuver is going off grid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to move, or you could move, but you wouldn't activate your
Off scope.
off scope.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So then we're gonna have to slow down the plan a little, unfortunately. So yeah. So we're going off scope. We're in visual. Which
Okay.
lost point. And let's see. Sorry, real quick. Actions. Take an action. Describe. Spend much as you want. So do I need to roll in to go off scope or just?
No, that you spend a point. Well, where's the off scope? Is that?
It's one of the tags.
Yeah, it's a tag.
Cool. So you spend an essay and go off scope then. And
Yeah.
that just happens.
Just happens.
So it's not quite as quick, but yeah, you're basically sliding into visual, and then boom, you disappear off of these ties in the Gazanti class cruiser.
Mhm.
Sweet. And as you do, you hear, "This is Captain Lance of the Interdictor. We just saw you drop off of our comms, but we're aware of your presence. You may turn yourself in to the Empire if you wish. Otherwise, my ties will take you out of the sky." Now, they've dropped down at this point when you're coming close. They've come into Atmo. So this is in the skies over Abafar.
Let me be clear. Hang on, Banshee. You are not weapons clear to use a nuclear weapon in atmosphere. I say again, you are not weapons clear to use a nuke in atmosphere. Hopper, keep those tie off our backs. Big brother, stand off and prepare for repairs.
All right. I mean, I don't think she heard you. I don't think he heard you, but it's fine. He's going right in. All right. Well, I'll sit back here.
Okay, cool. So we've seen what happens with Banshee. You've gone off scope, and your plan is to move in close enough to be able to take them all out with a nuke. However, Ghost One has told you, I don't know, some stuff. Crackle, crackle. You can really hear over the comms? Probably, maybe. I don't know.
The music's really loud.
It's true. So, Hopper, let's take a look. What are you doing?
I'm going to let me just slide it to my character because I was looking at somebody else there. I'm going to activate my thermo-optic camo, which immediately sends me off scope, and it adds capacitor. I've got no idea what capacitor does.
If you go down to row 56, capacitor, you may replenish 1 ammo by choosing 2 as your benefit when shunting power.
Okay, so the module doesn't actually cost anything to use, does it?
It does not.
So can I move as well? Because
Yeah, I think so. I think you're basically like engaging that. You have not done a maneuver because it doesn't cost SA.
Excellent then. So I will move myself, and I will also I'll join. Let me get that working. I'm going to join Banshee in that area of the sky. I'm on your wing, Banshee. I'm on your wing.
Nice. I'm curious now if you have to have something, a module to allow you to go off scopes. I don't know. I'm sorry. Again, first time running this game. So it is possible we may have to make some adjustments after game. But I made a ruling, and I'm going to
Excellent.
stick by it for now if everybody's okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, it says immediately go off scope. So, yeah, it's a module. So I think it's going to do something more than just standard maneuver. So, yeah, sounds good, Rich. Like it.
Cool. Okay, so you are currently off scopes, as is Banshee. The only question out there is can you choose to go off scopes? And I'm just stating out loud, can you choose to go off scopes if that's not a module that you have? So I am
I
okay
think
with it for
so
now.
because other stuff mentions off scopes. I think this just allows them to go
To
off
immediate-
scope without having to spend that as their action.
Okay, cool. That makes sense to me. So the module saves you SA,
Yes.
but you can spend SA to go off scope. Cool. All right, sounds good.
Doorbell.
Alan? Yes?
Doorbell. Back in a moment.
Okay. It's like, what does doorbell mean? But it means there's an actual real life doorbell. Let's go with Big Brother. What are you doing for this turn, sir?
Yeah. So Big Brother is going to move into, this new commander. He said, "Oh, hang back for repairs." That's not how this usually works. Usually, you need to be a bit closer for the repairs to work. Big Brother's going to fly into visual range with. I think he's going to fly in with Banshee and Hopper. Actually, leaving the poor commander out there on his own. But what are you going to do? And so yeah. Oh no, I'm trying to do the drag thing. All right, I got the hand. There we go. So I'll come in behind my allies here. First, you know what? Let me double check what I'm doing here. So on the turn breakdown, the first thing you can do is end any effects that cease at the start of your turn. Don't have any effects yet. Reactor management. That's what I want to do. Dio's flipping a bunch of switches. You see power shunting and diverting from different things. He's diverting from his weapons, and he's going to shunt to his. Now, let me ask you a question, Rich. I can shunt to afterburners, which would move one range band at any point. Does that mean that I have it, and then for the turn, because the effects last until the start of my next turn, at any point you could take an action or an ally can take an action, and then I can move into a range band when that happens? Is that what that sounds like?
Let's take a look at so we're talking about afterburners move one range band at any point. So you're saying, can you do that as a reaction, kind of jumping turn within the overall round? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. That's
I think
so. What I'm asking
so.
is, I did my move. I'm diverting stuff, and then it's like, hey, move one range band at any point. I'm kind of wondering, is it at any point mean since these effects last until the start of our next turn? Does that mean on the Sky Marshal turn, I can move out a range or move in a range, something like that?
I'm going to say yes, and then I'll take a look because that's what makes sense. And also, this name's game. The game is named Afterburners, so obviously Afterburners should do a lot.
Yeah.
Is my logic. But anyway, yes, The ruling I'll make here is if you shunt to Afterburners, you don't have to move now, but you could like jump in and move before the turn is completely out.
Okay, so yeah, my turn is reactor management first, diverting power from blasters to afterburners, then in any order, move my fighter into an adjacent range band. I moved into visual with my allies. Take an action. I don't have any actions to take yet. And spend as much SA as you like. I don't know that I'm going to spend any SA. I
Okay.
think I want to hold on to it in case things pop off. And I only have 2. That's so little SA.
So little SA. Okay. Then Ghost 1, you're back. Doorbell. All good?
All good.
Okay, cool. What action would you like to take?
I think I want to. So hang on, let me just read through this. So I can reactor management, select divert power from and a shunt power to. So I could go from. No, I don't think I want to. I don't want to mess with reactors. I simply want to move into the same zone as the rest of the squadron, I think. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. You just moving. Sounds good. details.
No, hang on now. Let me just, because I have this break formation talent, which means grant one ally at range 0, so in the same band as me, the opportunity to move to an adjacent band immediately. Hopper, close with those TIE fighters.
Roger.
Break.
And I will move into that danger zone.
Right into the danger zone. Oh, just a follow-up, Cody. The afterburners listing in the updated rule set is a little clearer. Move one range band at any point during your turn. So it sounds like what you intuited is what in the just recently re-released. Cool. All right. Sounds good. So you're now in the danger zone. Ghost 2 Hopper. That sounds great. It sounds like we've completed the turn. So before we slip back to SM turn, Big Brother, do you want to jump a range band or are you going to hang?
I'm gonna hang, and I think based off what you said, it sounds like since it's not player's turn, it's player turn and then SM turn. So is that right?
Yeah,
The rules,
that's
it's like
exactly
each
right.
player turn. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I'll stay where I'm at for now. So yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Then on the SM turn, roll for rally. There's no rally to roll for. You have not killed any bogeys. You haven't splashed any bogeys. That's the term in afterburner or after hash burner. I'm not sure. Then the SM activates a number of bandits equal to the number of players. Activated bandits can move or maneuver and deal their harm. So let's do that thing. These ties are screaming and they can't see anyone right now in the danger zone but Hopper. So guess what, Hopper? I'm activating 4 ties. But oh, sorry, they can't move 2 bands. They're all moving into the danger zone. And you're the only one that they can go after. Oh my goodness. You are in a lot of trouble, it sounds like. Hey, it turns out that maybe I'll kill you. I don't know. We'll find out. Woohoo.
Well,
So,
let's have a look.
all right. Let me grab. So these guys, I am using the Shrieker rules set for them. They have a range of 0. Oh, I'm sorry. At range 0, because they both. Oh no, they're just moving. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I can't double up just like you guys. So they move a range band. They're screaming towards Hopper, and their intent is that they're gonna open fire on you. In fact, you can hear them starting to cycle up their weapons. But they're activated and they both moved. Wait, they can move or maneuver and deal their harm. Okay, so I can do that.
You can
Okay.
shoot apart from I'm stealthed. You cannot be the target of the direct harm weapon.
That's right. Okay, cool. So then they don't see you. Sorry, I had forgotten that you also are camo. So it's Banshee and Hopper who are camo. So they move into this danger zone. And you guys are going to take -1 harm from fighters and bandits, but I think they're going to go after you, Ghost 1. They're going to split because they got 2 people they can see, Ghost 1 and Big Brother. So 2 coming at Ghost 1, 2 at Big Brother.
I'm just thinking, Rich, in terms of the layout of this, I think each of us is meant to be in a different. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to move it on you on the shared.
Oh, you're saying that like only 1 person per zone? Is that
Yeah,
what
because
you're?
otherwise it's going to get very crowded very quickly in one of those tiny quadrants, isn't it?
Oh, that's
Because you see
that's
what
a
I
fair
mean?
point.
It's if you think of it as top down, so we're visual, then that, rather than
That's fair.
yeah.
That makes sense. And that could be a
And since it
function of
specifies,
yeah.
But then you can only So how many can Rich put in 1 square?
Well, as many as he likes, I think.
But
Because
we
it's based on us as a target rather than
Oh, that will be
it's like,
easier to read through. And this
you know what I
again could
mean?
be a function of the lidar is created to be printed out and put at a table with tokens versus us
With
doing it on a character keeper. So, but I think
with
that's a
people
fair
sat
way to
around
try it.
it.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
but wouldn't that make things like the repair things less effective? Because, for instance,
Oh, yeah. So what is range 0? Yeah, do we have to be in the same one? I hadn't thought of that.
yeah, no, no, I think, Rich, that it was originally as we were, because range 0, we're basically just
Oh,
moving. We're moving the fur ball, because then that would be range 0.
no, hang on. Range 0 says targets only the range band your fighter currently occupies. We're
Yeah.
currently all bar you. So at the end of the previous turn, we were all in the visual band.
Yes. Yes, that's one band.
So we're all
Correct.
so that is range 0 for me. So I was able to give you that break. That took
Mhm.
us
Yeah.
danger.
That's how I took it. But as Rich has drawn it, there are 4 visual bands.
Right.
And it says so in the visual tag to the right there. It says there are 4 visual bands encircling the conflict. That makes it sound like each one of those bands is
Oh.
separate.
Oh,
I was going to ask Rich, is this like the TIE version that we played in, where each ship had its own ranges around it? You remember that, where it was like the ship, and because that's kind of what I'm wondering. Just
Same
because
designer,
of
same person. So I would imagine it's the same way.
Okay.
Cool. So remember, everything kind of centers around the furball, which is the Gazanti with two. The Gazanti has 2 ties that are sitting by it, and then these guys all moved into the danger zone, intent to attack the 2 targets that they can see, which will be 1 range band away. And the 2 targets are Big Brother and Ghost One.
Ghost One.
Cool. So, their damage at range 1, because this has to move out of a range band, is they're firing. Yeah, I think they just straight up have lasers. So it is -1 harm. It is ineffective because they do damage 1. You are in visual range, therefore you can dodge around it for both of you. So Big Brother, how is it that you circumvent or dodge, or what do you do for these 2 ties as they're firing at you while coming close? This is one of those where they're coming closer, and there's red lasers coming straight at you.
Yeah, I think Big Brother, he's flipping some switches. He diverted power to afterburners, didn't end up needing it, and he just does like a quick toggle, and the shields get a little bit, brighter right in front of him as the blaster bolt reaches the end of its effective range and just kind of plinks harmlessly off the shield.
Nice. And then Ghost is what's the flare for Ghost with 2 ties coming straight at you?
I think that what Ghost brings to this is just judgment. So it's just very gentle maneuvers, just to avoid the bolts.
Art of not being there. I love it. That is fantastic. So there's no capital target with emplacements of pieces in range. Let's see. I've got a capital, not exactly. And he has nothing at 2 out and can't see Hopper. So he is not taking a shot. That's Captain Lance. Then see, activate the number, then change the battle in some significant way. Okay, cool. That is my turn. We have entered into turn 1. Congratulations, everybody. That only took a little bit. Cycle back around. So we are now on the second player turn.
And I believe Banshee was ordered to go first.
Yeah, Banshee. What do you want to do?
Yeah. So I have a quick question. Can I be unseeable but still speak on comms?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, first, I didn't do anything last time that I would need to shenanigans from, but what I am doing is I am gonna divert from primary weapons to afterburners. And I'm gonna then use my movement to get into the danger zone. No, I don't. No, thank you. Get right up there. And I think we get like this wonderful visual. Feet still kicked up, using them to steer, leaning back, lollipop in mouth. And just command kind of opens up and it's like, hey, Lan, really great to hear from you. I have this fantastic little proposition. So, like, I heard what you said, shots, but no, just no. So here's what we're gonna do. You have 3 options. First option is we're just gonna take out your wings and you're just gonna float away, and whatever happens kind of happens. Neutral vibes here. Or if you continue shooting at my captain and associates, I will nuke the ever living shit out of you and kill you all. Or last option, honestly, my favorite option. You can drop anything worth a dime you have on your ship, and then we'll let you fly off. What do you think, Lan?
That sounds like you are entering into rolling dice.
Yeah.
So I think that's an attribute roll that you're pushing towards. And trigger is confronting obstacles with skill, resilience, talent, training, and doing things by the book. That does not sound
But burn is burns fuck around and find out.
Oh, okay. Acting on instinct, courage, heroism, and force of will, rushing into a decompressing room to save a comrade. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a thing. Roll burn when you want to be reckless. There we go. I love that I put that all in caps because I stole it from the PDF, which did the same thing. It sounds like you want to cow these guys to cause them to want to run away with their little imperial tails tucked between their
Ja.
legs. Let's pull up the roller. And so you're rolling 3 burn. That's 3d6. And you keep the best one of the group. As a reminder, oh, that's right. I stuck it in rules. In the rules, oh, there's a commentary now. Neat. 1 to 2 is no joy, failure and a consequence. You do, however, get an EXP. Tally is a success and a consequence. 5 to 6 is a hit, complete success. And so we're clear, you're trying to intimidate these guys to either
A business deal,
yeah, business deal, give you a bunch of loot, or Didi Mao, or be nuked. So let's see 3 dice. We can see dice.
Get to see dice. Okay. Okay, so it's 3d6. And roll.
Okay.
That 5 looking good.
That 5 does look good. So a 5 to 6 is a hit, a complete success. Yeah, I think a complete success with Captain Lance of the Interdictor Gazanti class cruiser, which, yes, he knows there's a destroyer, but I think that destroyer has been destroyed, so he's just reusing the name. I think, success. What does that look like? Turn and run? I think turn and run. I think the Gazanti is, you have mentioned a
Dropping any
nuke, and he is going to try to move a range band into danger zone, but he is trying to move away. So we will move him.
He doesn't know where I am.
He does not know where you are, but if he can get out of Atmo, then he can go into light speed. So his plan is to try to head towards bug out range. But that's his reaction is Ah, very well. I was unaware that you dirty rebels or whoever had come to Abafa. That is quite all right. You may have the planet, he says, as he is trying
But
to extract
yes,
himself.
yes, but remember, there's three options here. So you've gotten rid of nuke, which fabulous option. Love that one for you. Uh, but you can either drift instead of flying because we're gonna shoot out your wings, or you can drop something to make it worth my while to spend time collecting that instead of shooting out your wings.
Yeah, meanwhile, we cut to the
Yeah.
Gazanti, like the front bridge. It's not really a cockpit. And he's screaming at them, find that person! Find them immediately! Yes, of course. We have quite a large amount of fuel here. We're happy to trade with you. Would you like to board and take it from us?
I'm not stupid, Lan. Like, it's just nah. I mean, you could like hear like the crunch also like through it of like him biting down on the lollipop.
Let's cut to the other. I think that's taken up a good bit of your turn, and you're in negotiations with Captain Lance. Let's go. I think it was Hopper who went second. Yes.
Yar. Ghost One. I have a clear shot on the capital ship. Or do you want me to deal with these TIE fighters?
Original instructions: keep those TIE fighters off our back.
Roger that.
Intercept.
Very well. I will attempt to now I've noticed, Rich, my interceptor, I've got +1 on rolls to perform maneuvers. So maybe when we were saying before that you just do a maneuver,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's not true because I get +1 on a roll to do a maneuver.
Yeah, I think a maneuver is what we just did with the intimidation attempt. That
Okay. But is
Maneuver
going off.
sounds different from action.
Yeah, is there a list of maneuvers?
There is in rules. It's actually something I highlighted. That's my comment, Rich. It was tucked into another line, so it might not be actually clear what the maneuvers are. Scroll down. There you go. Situational awareness. At any point you're doing your time, you spend 1 to do that, and then oh yeah, that's different. That's afterburners. Sorry. So these things here: break, dead drift, silent running, defeat missiles. Those are maneuvers.
Okay.
Okay, give me a sec to
a lot of these are very situational.
It seems like most of the maneuvers are specifically it's how you're actually moving. It's not like moves in a PBTA game or something like that. That covers a lot of different actions.
okay.
So what's the difference between an action and a maneuver then? Maneuvers are very specific, one of those four.
So how do
But
you
then,
go off scope then?
yeah.
How do you go off scope? I believe going off scope was taking an action. So an attack action, describe, roll to attack with primary dealing harm. Let's text me. Okay. Let me look in the PDF to see if there's something that's a little clearer. Okay. So I think that each thing that you do is probably an action. You attack or you can do a maneuver, which is the fancy flying. You move range bands, and then you take an action. And the action is a die roll with one of your attributes, which could be an attack action, but also could be an intimidate action, which we just saw. And then you spend SA to activate.
bits of kit.
talents.
Yeah, or talents.
I
Yeah.
think I found it. Silent running. A PC who has an opportunity to conceal themselves in a terrain feature could attempt a gauge roll to gain the off scopes tag.
Oh, that's so
This makes the
cool.
most sense
Okay.
if they have cover from an obstacle. See below.
Silent running. Okay, so next time around, if somebody wants to go off scopes, I would say, oh yeah, that's cool. This is what you do.
Yeah, make a maneuver roll. Yeah. Make a maneuver silent running roll.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you'd be
that's what makes the
rolling
modules
gauge.
more useful is you just get it and you still have other maneuvers you can take. That makes
Rock on. Okay, cool. We yeah.
We're figuring
Excellent.
it out. It's a new system for us. It's all good.
It's so crunchy, my brain can't handle it.
No, that's all good. So with these 4 TIE fighters on my zone, I'm going to use feint and backstab talent.
Uh-huh.
And when ambushing someone, figuratively or literally, you roll with +1 die. So I'd like to attack one of those TIE fighters with +1 die as I basically come out of camouflage.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Let's jump over to you're going to make an attack. Are you pulling the trigger then? Or do you think that you are engaging them? Like,
I'm going to pull the trigger.
okay, you're being badass. Your trigger is 2. Look at you all balanced. Look at that.
Okay, let's get on that die roll. 2d6, yeah?
Yes, 2d6.
5 and a 1. So I'm going to pick the 5 because
Are
that's
you
better
gonna
than
find
1.
Okay, that is a hit. And what is your primary weapon's damage with the interceptor? You're in the same range. Holy crap. He's way dead. He's super dead.
3. Yeah, and I think basically that is sort of I appear just behind this TIE fighter, which he's screaming towards Ghost One and Big Brother, and basically he just explodes, and my fighter comes sort of through the explosion field.
Yes.
Just camouflage is sort of disintegrating, and I'm basically heading towards Ghost One.
And
One down, one down.
And if I may, I think through to the comms to the commander Lance, just like, now, just so you're aware, Lan, that wasn't me. That's one of my many friends that are out here hidden. So you didn't just spot me, in case you were looking.
That's got to be kind of terrifying, actually, if you think about it. Sweet. So, who goes next? I think Ghost One, you went next. So let's stay in that cycle for now. That's okay.
Okay, so I have a talent called Stellar Slip. Switch range bands with an ally who's in an adjacent band and deal your primary weapon harm to a bandit. Yeah?
That's wild.
So I'm going to spend an SA and I'm going to switch my position with Banshee, declaring overcoms Banshee piracy is illegal in the New Republic.
Okay, but like trading isn't, their life for goods and figures. Just in a private film.
And I will apply my primary weapon damage to one of the TIE fighters, if I've got that right. Because
I
the talent
think you
says
can.
you can always and yeah, spend SA and simply do that thing. Primary weapon harm to a bandit.
Deal your primary weapon harm to a bandit. And these guys are the bandits.
0 is 2.
Oof. That is nasty. Range 2. Let's see. That is double checking my look. I think that will take them out. I just want to take one glance at the info, and yeah, that will exactly take out a Shrieker class. That is going to produce more rally for you guys.
And then quick question here, Rich. I still haven't used my afterburner movement.
Yeah, you can
It's
use it.
not my turn yet, so can I just throw myself back into the zone with Ghost One, with our captain here?
Yeah, you certainly can. Go ahead.
Also, I think we moved Big Brother by accident instead of Ghost One.
Oops, that was
No, we
yeah,
did.
that's a bummer.
So Rick, just to be, because in any order, I can move, I can take an action, and I can spend as much SA as I would like. So I've spent SA.
Uh-huh.
Can I now take an action?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
well,
you
I shoot
spent
the other.
SA. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I reduce my SA from 3 to 2.
Yes.
And now I take my action, which is to shoot the other tie.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be using. I think this sounds like trigger.
Yeah,
Skill,
that makes
resilience,
sense.
talent. Yeah.
Yes.
My ship gives me another 1 to that, so I'm rolling 2 dice. Yeah.
Okay.
If I've got that right.
That's correct.
Okay. What have I done with?
I'll drop it in chat.
The dice roller. Hang
It's
on,
in chat.
the
I put
dice
a link in chat.
Yeah, no, I just can't see it on the screen. It appears that I've somehow managed to make for your screen share is taking up all of my screen. That seems odd.
Oh, just stop screen sharing so you can do that.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, and you just need to make that a bit smaller. There we go. Then try putting that screen share back on.
Okay.
Yeah, that works. There you go. 2d6.
Oh, that's a
is
6.
6.
Sweet. So you deal you basically
harm.
dealt your harm from the action, the talent, and then fire again. Were you
Yeah.
firing at one of the
The other
two,
ties.
one of these other ties here?
Oh
Or
no, the
these?
ones in the same, because that at range 0, that
Mhm.
gives me 2 harm. So I'm hoping that I've now taken up the 2 ties. No, not those 2. The 2
Oh, these
ties
two.
escorting the
Oh,
Gazanti.
gotcha.
Yeah, because that's
Yes.
where I
We're
am.
making Land feel lonely.
He is feeling lonely, guys. Listen. Okay, so then I'm going to move these guys over here because I deleted out. So there we go. Now he has no
No, hang
wingman.
on. Hang on. There were 4 ties in the
Yes.
danger zone. Didn't Hopper take at least one of those out?
Yes. So this will be the third one going out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
And then I'd like to make my third is a maneuver, which is my maneuver is going to be to ask for the Gazanti's surrender.
So hold on a second. So let's see. I want to make sure. And this may be like expanding it and giving you guys multiple actions per turn, but I think is he using a talent taking an action? I guess is the only question
No,
I
I mean
have.
action typically means often this will be an attack action. I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
What it says about maneuvers, showing off, not getting shot down. You can initiate, otherwise it just doesn't say what maneuvers. Oh, hang on. So break, dead drift, silent rutting. No, I think the only maneuvers are those ones
Those flight
down on row
actions, right?
75. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically the move, this is just a movement phase. Like D&D. It's a movement phase. Maneuvers are ways to move and or you can just hop range bands. You take an action
But
and then spend SA.
it's more than that, because on row 74 it says sometimes the SM will call for a maneuver to be rolled, which is where Hopper's interceptor kicks in reaction to a consequence, usually a collision or crash is imminent or something similar.
Right.
And in those circumstances, you always roll burn. So you roll for maneuver when you want to get out of trouble. Otherwise, it's showing off or not getting shot down, and that's, I guess, or
Yeah, because it looks like it's movement or maneuver, action, and then spending any kind of SA/talent are like the three sort of actions that things you can do during your turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've done a talent, you've done an action, and now Alan wants to do a maneuver, which is the full 3-option gambit. Looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, but
cool.
I think it's a maneuver with the ship. I don't think I can ask him to surrender.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see you do it. Do you have a maneuver you wanted to pull off?
Yeah, that's right. Before so using when they're on a strafing run. No, I'm not on a strafing run. Break. No. Yeah, I think I will try break. You attempt a maneuver roll to initiate a desperate series of random jerks, weaves, drifts, and dives to avoid incoming fire. Reduce all harm by 1 until the start of your next turn. So that will put me in a position where if the Gazanti starts firing at me, I've got some edge going.
Oh, he certainly will be.
Okay, so let me just see if I can. There we go. Okay. Ghost 1. Hang on. So I'm rolling. Again, I think this is trigger. This is skill and expertise.
Yeah, I think so too.
So 2d6.
All right, a 4 and a
6
2.
and a 2. Oh,
Nice. So the
oh
4
no,
is
hang
what?
on.
No, a
4
4
and
and
a
a
2.
2.
4 and a 2. I saw 4.
Make 6.
Yeah, sorry, 4 and a 2. So 4.
Okay, so that's a tally. It's a success and a consequence. I think that just because I want to see it in you're juking for lasers, but the consequence is he sent seeking missile on you, and so if you can on PC pilots mark the spiked for missile
Yeah.
incoming towards you.
There you go. Okay, job done.
Cool. Big brother, it is your time. It is your time to shine in the last of the second
Is there
player
really
turn.
much shining? I mean, so far nobody's really gotten hurt, so no repairs needed. I will see here. Go through everything. First things first, I'm going to divert and shunt power. I'm going to divert through. I'm actually going to divert shields, and I'm going to shunt to. Yeah, I'll keep it afterburners actually. That's the first thing I do. Then I move into. I'm going to move into the danger zone here.
Right
Oh,
into the
geez.
danger zone.
Right into the danger zone. Not highway. I don't know why I would ever say that. Right into the danger zone. Gonna move right into there. Then take an attack action. Now on my ship, because I have the auto turret, when I fire primary weapons, I can deal 1 harm to a different bandit at range 0, 360 degrees. So
Nice.
range 0 anywhere around me, which is interesting. And the primary weapon on my support fighter is range 1. Range 0, range 1. There's 2 different ranges. Oh, I see what it's saying. If I get it, and it's just 1 harm. So I'm firing off 2 shots, 1 harm each. It looks like.
Okay.
Now,
Then I will
need to roll. Correct? Do you roll or attack?
Yes, you do. Which of the attributes do you think? Trigger is usually the one, but which one
I
are
would
you
say
angling for?
I would say it's trigger. I just didn't know exactly how trigger engage and burn worked when I selected them, or I didn't think it through. Is all. So I think it's still trigger. But if it's 0, is that a thing where it's 2d6 take the lower kind of thing?
Yes.
Then let's do it. Let's do it, baby. All right, here
You
we
have a
go.
trigger of 0?
I have a trigger of 0. I thought
Hey,
everybody else would have triggers.
by the way,
I need to be support.
At the end of this, if you're like, okay, now that I know how things work, you want to move the points around, I'm totally okay with this. Totally okay.
Here's the
with that.
thing, Rich. It's 2 dice, take the lower. I'm gonna roll 2 6s, and because I have an auto turret, it's gonna hit no matter what. Like I don't need to
That's
roll for
true.
that. I just get to blast them all.
All of these statements are obviously true.
Obviously true. All right, here we go. A 5 and a 4.
Hey,
Not bad.
Hey,
Not bad. Am I right?
Success and success with consequence. I think the success with consequence, by the way, so you were doing, just so I'm clear, you're doing 1 harm to 2 different.
To 2 different ones.
Yeah, I'm just going to mark them here so we can kind of keep track of them.
Cool. Yeah, that's
Hopefully,
perfect. Oh, I
hopefully
like
that will be helpful because they're at half-life effectively. And I think you are also visual range, so I'm just going to put spiked on you as well. So they
Okay.
basically are firing out missiles. Big Brother and Ghost are the 2 obvious targets at this point. Although Clued or Hopper, you did take somebody out, right? So you're no longer off scopes. You're back. You're on
Yeah,
scopes.
I'm back.
Okay, cool. So they're sighting you in, and that's where this guy's gonna go when it's his turn. Do you
And
want
the
to
end
take?
of my turn. Oh,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna
I was
say,
just
do you
gonna
have?
yeah. I will use the afterburners, the movement action that I had there, to then fly out of danger zone and back into visual.
Nice, nice, clever. Okay, great. Do we
So now
have
I'm
any
all good.
last of player turn actions? Okay. So now we get to do the new cool thing, which is at the start of my turn, I roll for rally. So this is 1d6 for each non-drone bandit destroyed during the player's turns. So you guys, during your turn, took out 3 bandits. Good job. Here comes the rally.
Here comes the loot.
1, 3, and 4. It is very much the loot. Okay, so 1, 3, and 4. So 2 SA and Damcon recover from a debilitating tag or restoring shields. Debilitating tag also could be spiked, I believe. The players decide who's taking which result from the rally roll. Unclaimed rally is lost. I may elect to add a rally for completed objectives or destroy capital target compartments. So there's 2 SA that people could refresh some of the SA they've used up. And there's 1 Damcon recovering from a debilitating tag or restoring shields. No one's lost any shields. 2 people have spiked. I think the commander should make the determination of how this goes.
Who's taken SA?
You
Uh,
have and
I have.
Banshee.
Uh,
So you could take one
Oh.
apiece.
yeah, so yeah, we just need to agree a convention on what grey means and what black means in SA, because it, using my convention, that looks like you've got 3 SA there, and it's gone up by 1 to 4.
Oh, okay. Because I usually go like the way you would usually see it in like a game
Okay.
left to right.
Okay. I will change mine around to match.
So it's
There you
like
go.
3 out of 4.
Okay.
I agree
That's
with
what I
Kay's
thought
approach,
as well.
and I
Yeah,
disagree with
fair enough.
Alan's approach. Alan,
Okay.
you were great to do the gray color. You were wrong to do the tally.
Wow. Honestly, Rich, you didn't have to come from that hard, but you are a Sky Marshal, so I'll back out of this. I'll back out. Whatever you say, Sky Marshal.
So
Listen, it's just
so
a Sky
I think,
Marshal.
I think that 2 of us have used SA, so I suggest both of us get an SA back.
I would concur.
Then who gets to remove spiked? And what does that look like?
Oh, sorry.
You have 3 total
was that an
benefits.
option?
3 total benefits.
There's 1 remove spike, and there's 2
Oh.
SA. So you've distributed the SA. So let's remove that from the table.
Yep.
Yeah. And now you can remove 1 spike. 2 people have spike, which is Ghost 1 and Big Brother.
Okay, Big Brother, get rid of that spiked, because you're
Well,
away
let's
again.
let's talk about who has how much integrity and who is positioned where they can be seen. Like, as much as it's very lovely to go like, 1-to-1, you're in a danger zone, they're in a -1, they have higher integrity.
Yeah, the difference between you and me, Banshee, is I know I can get out of this.
I'm not worried about me.
My goodness.
Sorry, old man. Okay.
Yeah, whatever you say. Yeah, the spike's gone on me. Great. I love that.
Actually, I've changed my mind. Because I've just realized that my superior, I replenish one essay at the start of my turn anyway, so there's no point making good on that essay now. So I will clear spiked instead.
Well,
Hold on, just so we're clear, I roll the rally. You get to do 2 SA, and then you can
Oh.
remove one. That's it. You can't swap them out.
Oh, I see. Oh, bum. Right. Oh well, I might as well do that then. Okay. And I'll stay spiked. There you go.
Okay, so you're spiked. Big Brother is not spiked.
Yeah.
And then the 2 SA that have been spent have been replenished.
Yeah.
That happens at the beginning of my turn. Now the players who are taking a result from the rally roll, SN activates the number of bandits equal to the number of players. These guys are all I've got. So they are going to be doing things. Let me see if they have anything other than doing damage that is interesting. And I am taking a glance here.
Oh, the next line's quite interesting, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Deals this harm pool, dividing total as evenly as possible to all PCs in range. And I think that's what's going on here. So
I'm off scope though, so it can't see me.
that is true.
But off scope only deals with direct weapons.
Yeah, and this is a
Okay.
pool, so it's indirect.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of energy in the air.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think what happens here is they fired out a couple of missiles as consequences. Now when it's their turn to go, they are tight in. They can't see Banshee. They do see Ghost One. They do see Hopper. And then out in visual range is Big Brother. But they're going to do their damage pool to everyone in the range. That means that the 2 TIE fighters are toast because they're doing a damage pool within. Well, no, actually, no, it's right. It's a concentrated. So they have multiple gun emplacements and they're just firing wild, which then pulls me back to I don't think Banshee is a target of it, right? Like if they did damage across an area, Banshee would be subject to it. But because they're doing selective damage, not hurting their own TIE fighters, and you're still off grid or off scopes.
Does the enemy ship that you're referring to, does it have stats? Like, is there a little thing for it? Because it might have weapons, indirect, direct, this, that, the other thing. So,
It's just range
0
and range 1, and range 0 is 3. So
I'm slightly confused here. What ships are we talking about? The capital ship or the TIE fighters?
Capital ship.
Okay, so how I read that was the capital ship deals everything in its zone. Its harm pool to everything in that zone. I'll probably say it wouldn't deal it to its own ships, but it hasn't got any own ships anyway. They got taken out, so
That's
it's
true.
just there by itself. So to me, this is turbo lasers just going mad, filling the sky, sort of, with stuff.
Oh, okay. And the harm pool for this is an 8. So because it is targeting and Banshee's still off scope, it feels fair to me to say that it doesn't kill its own ties, but it still doesn't see Banshee. And therefore, everyone in harm pool is 4 and 4 to Hopper and Ghost One because you're in the range band. Does that make sense? And does that seem fair?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
And
4 to each of you.
That hits integrity, yeah?
That hits shields and then integrity.
Okay.
Your shields will be listed here.
Yeah. So if it says shields 1, then that takes 1 of the 4, 3 get through. Yeah?
Correct. And 3 happen to integrity.
Fine.
Yeah, and what does that look like? The Gazanti class cruiser, all the turbo lasers come out and it fills the sky with lasers. Ghost, one, as well as Hopper, you guys are both hit. Now, Hopper, just want to ask you a quick question. You've heard this guy, Captain Lance. I think you've dealt with him before. He wasn't a captain then. This is his first command of this Gazanti-class cruiser. What kind of relationship did you have with this, I don't know, lieutenant, second lieutenant, Lance, or Lance, when you were an Imperial?
Yeah, I think he was like a fire controller on a bridge, and he's merciless. I remember him firing in turbo lasers into a squadron of TIEs that I was in, and basically, yeah, I think I was the only TIE fighter that got out of that. I mean, he destroyed some rebels, but he had no regard at all for his own pilots. So, and I think that was one of the things that then made me think, yeah, this isn't the Imperium isn't the shop I want to be setting up with.
Nice,
So,
nice.
yeah.
And I think we cut on as Lance he's calling out targets for people to fire lasers on, and one of his subordinates says, "Sir, what about that nuke? We're too close. We're too close now. They would never fire a nuke and take out their own people because they are weak, foolish." Okay, cool. So that is a capital class ship doing stuff. And they are choosing to just do harm to you guys rather than escape at this point, which means they're not going to be moving towards bug out or any kind. Now I've got my my guys, and they are in the range band where I think one got scared about this, and he is just going to move a range band out. He's moving out the visual range. He's not the wounded one. He's just going to try to take off. But these guys are both going to target you, Hopper.
Okay.
And I'm going to deal my harm because I could do
Go
that
ahead.
thing. The range 0 is 2 for that. So that is 2 and 2. Now, the way that shields work is...
I have no shields.
Okay, then we don't have to worry about it. That is 4 integrity that you'll eat unless you want to do something about it.
No, do you roll at all, or is it just?
I do not.
You do
I do
not.
not roll
Okay.
dice. Correct.
Well, I don't think there's anything I can do, so I'm just going to suck that up, which leaves you on -1 integrity.
Hey, so that's great. We get to see what that looks like. So -1 integrity is a thing where now you need to cheat death. So this is the cheat death track. Once you
Don't
hit
you have hard to
0
kill?
I do have hard to kill. Oh, yeah. Well, there's this wounded. What's the score with wounded?
Great question. Wounded is you personally, not your ship. That happens usually in R&R scenes, I think. But let's see, wounded condition on foot. Yeah, so it's
Okay.
on foot.
And did you give yourself that added 1 to integrity before?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
I tried.
okay.
Yeah.
You're awesome, Kay. Thank you for thinking of that. Oh, by the way, don't forget, as you're taking out bandits, you need to check these little checkboxy things. I know that 3 have been taken out, and I can't remember who did what, so hopefully you'll remember. So let's take a look at your cheat death track. You get to choose any of these options as you are taken to 0 integrity.
I'm going to go for cracked reactor.
Whoa, that's awesome.
We got a reactor leak.
Sweet. Okay, and let me see. Does that mean you...
Basically, if I want to do a divert and shunt, I have to roll gauge instead of it being automatic. And personal data in your ship's computer is fried along with the hard drive. What photo, song, video, or memory have you lost? Oh, that's a weird one. Ooh, I think it's I think I've got a few friends, and it's their call sign data.
Uh-huh.
That lost, that they were some Imperial friends that I thought were okay kind of people. So yeah, maybe they're out there now. I can't identify them anymore.
That's awesome. You might know them by, but you lost all the details to where they are, where they're assigned,
Yeah,
anything.
so sort of
Yeah.
friend or foe wouldn't show them up. I'd have to wait for them.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
I
Sweet.
thought I'd put something in there for you, Rich.
That's juicy. Once you've made a selection, return your integrity to its maximum, recover 2 SA, and get back in the fight. So that's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Neat. I
It's not that bad going down to 0.
It's not. It's kind of pleasurable in a way. On the player turn, and this may be the last player turn. There's not much left for them. But we'll see. So into any effects that cease at the start of your next turn. I think that was the juking that Ghost 1 was doing. And now let's circle back to Banshee. Banshee, Captain Lance thinks that he thinks that you're not going to do what you said you're going to do, and he played along for a little bit, but now
Oh,
he thinks he has the upper hand.
okay. Okay, question. So if I deal damage within the danger zone, that's both Hopper and Ghost 1, right?
Yes, and also the 2 remaining TIE fighters, everybody in the band.
Okay, so is there a way to delay my action and have them go first?
I think it's player turn. You can just determine that.
Yeah, are y'all like, because I think what's gonna is I think, Banshee's just gonna straight up say, all right, he's called my bluff and I don't like to break promises. Ghost 1, Hopper, get out of Dodge. I'm about to nuke. And I think I'll secede my turn to let Ghost 1 and Hopper have their actions and movements, and then I will do nuking.
I think, but is a nuke actually that powerful?
It does 3 harm. It's
Yeah.
powerful.
My rockets do more than that. So I'm not too sure a nuke's going to take out that.
I think a nuke is, yeah. Sorry?
I was gonna say, can I drop multiple nukes? Because I do have multiple nukes.
I think that just means that you can do another one at some later point, because we've
Some
all
later
got
point.
ammo, haven't we?
Yeah.
You have ammo.
Okay, but you're okay. Oh, your integrities, you got 3. Meh. I did warn you. Yeah, I think I'm just
You could just do it.
I think I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, I think I'm just dropping the nuke because you were like, you were sassy to me earlier, and he's back at 6. So, yeah, I think he called my bluff. I'm dropping nuke,
Okay.
just like directly on top.
It hits all bandits and PCs in the affected range band, which means that you take out, you're splashing 2 TIEs. So do knock that out.
Can I just check? I'm not, because the range of a nuke is 1, not 0 to 1. You can't let a nuke off in the same place you are.
Oh, okay.
because
Well,
that
that's
would
cool.
blow you
I have
up.
movement.
But you can move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have.
I just want to be clear that you
Yeah. No, that's valid. So yeah, I think I move into visual over here.
Some fancy flying, a little contrail behind you, and then fire a nuke back at the Gazanti cruiser. It's going to hurt him hard. And then all across the danger zone. So our second rally, these guys will be gone. And 3 harm coming to the just got back in the fight Hopper, as well as to the commander Ghost 1. And 3 harm to him. I think it takes out one of his wings. And the cruiser at this point, he's got a TIE fighter that's gonna be getting out, and he's still trying to get out, but it's your turn. So I think we had,
Real quick.
yeah.
So you can do an action and a maneuver, right?
Yes.
An action is an attack, usually.
Yeah, action is the attack. And then
Then you've got break, dead, drift, silent running, defeat missiles, yeah, I think so.
Right, but
So
you
you
did
do
move.
silent-
You moved bands,
Yeah.
so that I think that it's
Oh,
one or
right.
the other.
Well,
Ah,
I'll just
yeah.
no, because I'll turn off primary weapons, move at any time during my turn.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna move weapons to afterburners so I can make that movement, do that. Then I'm gonna do the maneuver to immediately go off scope again. And so I need to roll gauge.
Okay. And just for
Okay,
future reference,
no.
you have to do reactor management before anything else.
Oh, okay. Gauge roll. But instead of doing a gauge roll, I'm gonna do hot stick.
Ooh, what's hot stick?
It is one of my talents. Perform a maneuver, you succeed as though you had to roll a 6.
Oh, awesome. So you just perform the maneuver of going off scope because you use it. So that costs
Yeah, so
an SN.
it's like Lance sees me for 2 seconds. I drop a nuke on him, and there's like a little smile and a wave, and then I'm suddenly gone again.
Oh, that's wicked.
Ghost Squadron, this is Ghost 1. Banshee has gone rogue. She has attacked me. He, sorry, has attacked me. Consider hostile.
Holy crap. Back to LiDAR. So that is
Now, your integrity 0, Ghost 1.
I know.
Oh, so let's go to cheat death track. What are you choosing?
I think. What's my options?
I love some of these questions. They're like really interesting and out of left field, but cool.
Flashback. Describe a memory of you and squad mates playing the morbid game Who, What, Where. Who should be informed upon your death? What do you think will kill you? And where do you think you will die? I think, based on my reading of the files, who should be informed upon your death? Our commanding officer. What do you think will kill you? Squad mate. Error. Where do you think you will die? In my cockpit.
Nice. What a morbid game. Delightful. You now will return to full integrity and regain 2 SA, but you're at max.
Yeah.
So that is pretty terrifyingly great. You cheated death though. Good job. So that is all.
If any,
yes.
Just so, do we have any indication of how much more harm we need to do to this Gazanti?
Not much more.
Okay.
It is basically half. One hard hit should disable it, and it is trying to. After that nuke's gone off, it's turning and just trying to get out. It came in, it fired a bunch of lasers on you guys. You literally did drop a nuke on it. Now it's like, okay, I'm. You could let it escape, and it's not going to do any more harm. It doesn't sound like everyone will let it
an
escape.
individual of their word.
All right.
I think I caught in the chat that Big Brother wants to step up.
Yeah, you've got a thing you need to do.
Yeah, that's what I
Yes.
thought.
Yeah, so what I would like to do is first divert from my primary weapons to my afterburners, as always. After clearing it, so this time my shields are up, weapons diverted, afterburners. I'm going to move into my one free adjacent movement, and then I'll use my afterburners to move again. And then I'm going to use my secondary weapon, repair drone launcher. Actually, there's also a thing on my fighter that I can reduce my shields by 1. Is the fighter special moves? Is that a maneuver, an action? What is that?
I don't.
Oh, I
don't-
should have done an additional harm to that
Well, off scopes,
before
yeah.
because I was off scope.
Does my question make sense, Rich?
Your question makes perfect sense, and I don't think the rules are clear on the differentiation between.
Oh well, you know
that.
what? I'll just count it as we'll play it as an action just for right now. I don't actually need to use the repair drone launcher because the integrity of my ally is back to max. So I will deplete my shields by 1. So my support ship is shields 1 now. And then all allies in range 0 to 1, which should be everybody. Yeah, everybody 0 to 1 gets to max their shield, I believe. Yeah, replenish all shields. 0 to 1. So everybody should get their shields back up, and that is my turn.
Guess what though? You did not get rid of the spiked, so you
On
move
myself.
all around.
The
Correct?
spiked on me.
Huh?
Oh, I'm
For the-
spiked.
Oh, Ghost 1 is
Ghost
spiked.
1 is spiked,
That
yeah.
missile should have hit you. I'm sorry. For some reason, my brain thought it was Big Brother the whole time. But it's not the end of your turn yet, Ghost 1. You had to go through the whole cheat death because of the nuke. So don't forget you've got a spiked. Thank you. Sorry for misremembering who's who. That's awesome, Big Brother. You're really good at this supporting thing.
Well, yeah, it's important. You got to have shields. Yeah, I don't know about this nuke thing. That was pretty. Boss, I hear you. I'm coming in. Hold on. Flip. You know, switch. His shields get a little weak. The blue shimmer around it goes a little thin, and then everybody's hoppers, banshees, ghost ones. They charge up,
And
and that's me.
Were you rerouting power? Do you imagine you were sending out some of your drones? What
That is
fictionally?
Fictionally, that is the support class. It's part of the fighter, so I think it's actually the way the fighter is shaped. I think the X-wing has those big domes that it has those half spheres on both of the S foil or all of the S foils, and it kind of uses those to project shields out.
Cool. That's awesome. Then we still have 2 people who haven't gone this round. This is probably the last thing we'll get to do this session. So I think it is Hopper's turn because we usually were having Ghost 1 go last. Am I misremembering or yeah? I think
Very
right.
well.
Right.
I will. I'm going to fire my standoff rockets from a standoff position at the Gazanti carrier, and hopefully it does some stuff.
I sure hope so. Some stuff needs to be done.
Use in place of primary weapons for a strafing run.
What is that?
I don't know, actually, Rich.
I think it's one of the maneuvers. Let's take a look. Break maneuver, strafing. No, it is not. Okay, I'm going to look it up on the PDF.
It is in capitals, so yeah, let's see.
Okay, attacking a compartment. That's not really a thing we're doing here. Previous. Oh, so for capital ships, you do a strafing run. Describe your approach. Make an attack action roll using a suitable attribute, and on a 3 to 6 result, deal your primary weapon harm up to trigger compartments of your target. Wow. We may have to go with a like quicker, dirtier version of the capital ship for now because that sounds like a lot more than I thought it was. Let's just go ahead and have you make an attack, and we'll call it a strafing run, and then I will bone up on capital stuff for the next time you guys next session.
Julio. Let's roll trigger.
Cool.
2d6.
And just to show it, like the destroyer
Yes.
is where I got the harm pool, and it has 3 different areas that all have hull ratings. And I was applying it more generally, but for a strafing run, you'd be going, okay, I want to take out the nose, or I want to take out the breath, or I want to take out the underside. You take out the full 10 of that, and then boom, you take out all of these pieces. So there's a whole lot to a capital ship.
Okay.
Sweet. Got a 6.
Got a 6.
That is great. In this Gazanti class cruiser is not exactly a capital ship, right? It's a fighter carrier. So for time, I think you take the Gazanti class cruiser out. Do you take out its engine so that it can crash land on or do you take it out midship?
Oh no. We gotta have Lance coming back at some stage. So let's take out the engines and we see him sort of descend to the surface and disappear in a massive sand cloud. And then we'll have some explosions as well, because who doesn't like a nice explosion? But
For all we know, they're dead.
yeah, for all we know.
Awesome. Because that is the last. Well, that is not the last. Let me ask. Let me go back to this. So this guy's off. He's off the board. But we still have this one who's trying to get out of here. On my turn, I'm moving into bug out.
Isn't his missile still in flight?
Yes. I think it was his missile that is coming after Ghost
missile,
1.
wasn't it?
Yeah. So, Ghost, it is your turn. You have a tie who's trying to escape. You have a missile that's coming at you. What do you want to do?
So there is a maneuver called defeat missiles.
Yes.
Either an action or a maneuver to defeat a missile. So I think, let me just think, where am I?
First thing, reactor management. Do you want to divert something to shield?
Good idea.
Oh,
Thank
I
you
see.
for that suggestion.
Yeah. Thank you. I will divert from thrusters to shields. Then maneuver. Hang on, what's the range of that? Yeah, okay. So I will shift to shields. I will then maneuver to avoid the missile.
So you need to roll for a maneuver.
I
Yep.
do.
You do.
Common solutions are evasion, burn, shooting trigger, jamming using gauge. I think probably this is about trying to dodge using dodge using burn. Doesn't
Nice.
matter, they're all 2, but so 2d6.
All right.
That's a 6 and a 1.
Wow, you do it. What does getting out of the way of that missile look like?
I think it's one of those ones where I simply outpace it because it's been
Eventually, it just runs out of fuel.
Yeah.
And then falls harmlessly into the desert, then explodes, sand goes everywhere. And
then I'd like to take an action, please.
Yes, please. What action do you want to take?
I'd like to launch one of my cruise missiles at that tie, range 1 to 3.
Do it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, let's do it.
So I think that this is probably an instinctive response. So I'll roll with burn. Again, 2d6. That's a 5.
Okay. A 5 with this is a full success. So
3 harm.
3 harm is going to take that tie out. If there were more fights, then we would roll rally, but usually rally is SA and damage and stuff, so you guys can return to base. And looking at time, that is definitely all that we will get through this session. I did not call this out, but anyone who rolled a 1 or 2 as your best result, I don't know if there were any. I don't recall it. That's an XP. Let's take a look at our XP triggers, which that is all down on rows 76 through 81. And I'm just gonna, unfortunately, we'll have to go through quickly because I still want to do a quick round of stars and wishes. And I will ask, Hopper, Paul, did you hit any of your experience triggers? I don't think anyone got 5 bandits. The killing blow on a baron. I will say that the captain is effectively a baron. So who got the killing blow on him?
Yay! I did.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that was
missiles.
your second. That was your second splash, wasn't it?
Yeah. So no, I don't think I've. There's no archetype triggers, but I killed a baron. I did a cheat death track. I selected one from that, and I think I completed the sortie.
Okay. Good. Does sound all yeah, everybody completed sortie, so yes, definitely, I think. And then there's archetype EXP triggers. Those are mostly going to happen in R&R, but do you think you hit any of those?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm happy that I didn't hit them.
Good. Then Ghost 1. Let's see. Killing blow on 5 bandits, no. Baron, no. Cheat death track. Mark an XP for that. Complete a sortie. Mark an XP for that. And then take a look at your archetype EXP triggers. Any of those you think you hit?
No, we'll wait for the downtime before I carpet Banshee.
All right. Banshee. Don't think you got 5 bandits. Baron, cheat death. You did not cheat death.
Did complete a sortie.
You did? Okay. And then any
I
of
think I may have hit some arcs.
Oh,
I
good.
think I called personal attention to myself over others. I think
for
with like
sure.
tackling. And then I kind of question so I like zoomed in, was kind of snarky, dropped a nuke, but only to be visible for like 2 seconds before suddenly being invisible again.
I think that's pretty magnificent. I'm okay with the
Yeah.
XP for
And
that.
unmissable, I'd say.
Yeah, and
Unmissable.
unmissable.
Yeah, there's some stuff happening there. Cool.
And also, I'm the best, and everyone knows it, but I didn't get an XP for it. But you know, the person who said I was going to die. You remember?
All right, and then Big Brother. Let's see. Did you cheat death? You did not.
No. I
Completed a sortie. In
So
any of the
that
archetype
first
AXP triggers hit, you think?
I don't think so. There's a second one that I can't read all of it, but it's involved in a romantic entanglement. I don't see that as an external cat. I don't know. Absorb consequences for a friend and ally. I did not. When you play a pivotal role and nobody knows it, I mean, I think I'd put a lot of work.
I think you
into
did in helping
those.
out that
Shield.
shield. Do
You
it.
did
Take
that,
the
okay.
XP for that. For sure. I think that totally applies.
I see down here this another section, contribution. Is that something for XP or is that for a different thing?
I'm not even sure. I think
Okay.
that contribution
Just
has to
checking.
do with the R&R, because if you look at the scene selections, it says the star and the director.
You're right.
We are going to do R&R at the top of next session, and I'll read up on that. But it does say that there's a scene director and a star of the scene. So I think that that's where maybe you're just indicating which I'm not sure. I just copied it over and I didn't know that one. Cool. Hey, let me just stipulate so you don't have to put it as a wish. Reading up the rules some more. I will definitely do that. I'm also going to, in the next, make sure that I'm compliant with the latest version of the rules, because I think there were some clarifications. None of the core rules supposedly changed. He said I just updated the layout, and so I thought, okay, great. But then I was finding out that there's some things that are written a little more clearly. For example, one of the ship things. So I'm going to try to look through everything and bring it compliant to the latest rules, because they do seem to be a little better. So off top, don't feel like you have to say, "Hey, Rich, read the rules some more." I will. I promise. I've got a whole week. I've got 6 days to do it. I'll get better. But thank you guys so much. Thank all of you for being so open and forgiving. I really appreciate that. I don't run Crunchy Games, and this is why. So, who'd like to go first with wishes for our next 2 sessions?
I'll go first.
Go on.
Oh no, yeah, I mean, Alan, you can go first alphabetically. Maybe it's the way to go.
Yeah, that always worked apart from the Reese. So I think I'm looking forward to investing a bit of time in downtime. I'm interested to see how that works, and how the director star stuff plays, and the fact that everyone should take takes different roles in that. So I think that's a really interesting thing to see happen. And I'm interested in a different kind of mission, I think, where it's not just about blowing things out of the sky, but there is an objective. It's the second mission of my old X-Wing game.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. My pen just ran out, so I'm trying to grab another pen.
Oh, it looked for all the world like you were just turning to adjust some of the consoles. Yeah, some of the stuff that's just off screen. Exactly.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alan, for your wishes. Cody, you were jumping right up, so I'm going to determine you next.
Yeah, not just for you, Rich. I also want to read these rules because there's so many fiddly bits, but damn, it's fun when you see how they interact. I'm looking forward to the R&R scene, especially how that goes down between Commander and Banshee, because we got to see that. And I also a wish, I guess, is I think a part of the rules is I'm very curious if we know the stats of enemies, if that is expected information or if that's we need to use sensors to get that or something, because I know this Lumen game is kind of based in, I think it's made to replicate the feeling of the Destiny shooting game, and that's a thing where you do know a lot of your enemies' weaknesses. It's very clearly displayed.
See, yeah, health bar, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And so I am kind of curious about that, because I think that would influence certain weapon choices or certain maneuvers. Is like, we know we need to do X, Y, Z. So I'm curious about that. Yeah, those are my wishes. Very excited for the R&R scene is the big one.
Sweet. Excellent. So Paula K, wishes?
Yeah, sure. Looking forward to the R&R scene. Just some more great GMing as ever, Rich. I really enjoyed it. Just a little bit more sort of, rather than shoot, fine, damage, let's move on. A little bit of explanation. I always like to see a bit of color put in there. I know it slows it down, and we didn't have a lot of time today, but bit of color is always nice.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Paul. Okay, wishes?
Yeah, wishes. Definitely excited and wishing to see the drama that's going to unfold from dropping a nuke on 2 of my teammates. I think that's going to be fun, especially the commander who is like, yeah, now you're shot on sight. So I think that'll be super fun. Just trying to get into the minutia a bit. I may myself reread some things and move some stuff around now that I know a little bit more about what functions as what. And yeah, just I'm excited to get into the R&R. I think those scenes will be really fun. My one curious question and thought that I would like to propose is 12 XP in general seems a lot. 12 XP in a 3-session game?
It's impossible. It's not going to happen.
Which is interesting. Yeah, that's just my thought there.
The R&R might deliver quite a lot. So
my hope is you can hit at least a couple to 3 of those, but I think this game was also created for the idea of a much longer game. It talks specifically about cycling pilots out and bringing in new players, and so I think it's a longer arc. I may reduce it down, but then again, I mean, the advancements, none of them are like, oh my god, I have to have it either, to be perfectly frank. Like, they're cool, but they're like, another
But
talent.
all the talents, Rich.
That's true. Kay, do you have any stars you wanted to share?
Oh, of course, so much. First of all, star to Rich for this fucking like, excuse my French, for this ginormous keeper with so much information, so much detail laid out very well.
Thanks.
Again, this is clearly an extremely crunchy game, and the fact that we had like such a minimal amount of issues trying to understand or figure things out, considering it seems pretty new to almost all of us, is definitely because of how prepared you are and how much effort you put into this keeper.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Alan, I love it. It just the great commander ace dynamic. You know, I'm risky, I'm punchy, be the best. And you're like, no, stop it. And then the immediate, because like almost heel turn of kill them on, like they are now lock on danger site, is such a fantastic choice. Especially since we did make the denotation that these characters don't know each other well. So I am excited to see how that plays out. That was chef kiss, such a thing. Cody, I love Big Brother. They're such a like warm and emphatic character. I can't wait to get to explore like an R&R, you know, see what that looks like and develop what some of these relationships, like whether we all don't know each other or how we float about with that. I think that's great. Yeah, I'm just very excited to do some more pitch direct role play with Big Brother. He's a sweetheart. And then Paul, your command of what you were doing was wonderful. As someone who tends to lose myself a bit in role play and is like, okay, but then how do I mechanically make this function? You had such a great hand, again, despite the fact that this is very crunchy, very new system, of being like, and this and this and this is how I sort that, and like picking certain things. Just you had such like a breadth of control there that was really fantastic to see.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Okay, that's awesome. Paul, did you have any stars?
Yeah. You know, some great role playing around the table. I really liked the Ghost One and Banshee. You know, it's like some spirit face off there, isn't it? Ghost One and Banshee. Where me and Cody just sort of sat sidelines going, "Oh, I don't know how this is going to pan out." You know, big hats off to Cody. You know, picking the support role. You know, good on you for that. Because I know it's not the big hero role, and you played it, you know, with such a plume. It was really good to see Cody and Rich. Yeah, it's a crunchy game, but you know it's well within your stride. I didn't ever feel that you'd left your awesome pace there. So yeah, really good all round to everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Cody, any stars left out there?
Yeah, I starred Alan for taking up the role that I gave the poor man. You know, my bad on that one, but I'm glad you ran with it. Kay for asking, how do you feel about nukes and then doing it? You know, hey, if you're going to set something up in the first part of the mission, do it at the end. I like that a lot. Paul, piggybacking on Kay's comment, I do agree that you had such a quick handle on the rules, and that's super appreciated in a game like this. That is so crunchy that it's like, you know, wait a second, what about this? And it calls attention to things, and it really helped the flow of the game. Rich, of course, biggest star to you. The games you find and put together and then build character keepers of and all that is insane. And the system is fun. I really liked diverting and shunting power. Like that is such a fun little thing to start your turn with, is toggling all these settings and then how that influences your actions and adds extra little bits and bobs to everything. I think that's super fun. And the way it's implemented in the character keeper is great. You know, I could see if I played this in person, I'd want like a little tactile dashboard with buttons and toggles and flips. I would, you know, it'd be the best. So, you know, having that in the character keeper makes those turns fun to play with those fiddly bits. So, yeah, just a big star for that.
Alan, finish this off. Oh, Ghost Squadron. I love the pick. I just saw it first. So cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'd endorse all of that, I think. And I think it's nice that we managed to set up some obvious downtime in mission. So again, that interaction, thanks to Kay for that. Yeah, Paul, you are nothing if not a system master. You're very good
So
at
good.
absorbing those. I noticed that across the piece, and it showed today. And yeah, I mean, you know, I think that Cody, we needed those repairs, and I was pleased that someone stepped up to fill that role. But I hope that you don't kind of fall into that one all the time. So my wish is that we don't all stick with those same ships, that we move them a bit, or loadouts or whatever. It's my. So yeah, I know. Great. Thanks, Rich.
Ah, thank you. Thank you guys so much. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to run, but my stars are you're very open, giving players. I can't wait till R&R is my biggest wish. I'm so excited about it. I really thought I could get through a mission and R&R. I was so wrong, but I'm looking forward to continue to explore this. And thanks, Cody, for doing wishes without me reminding you. That was wonderful. You guys have a great rest of your time, and I will
See
stop
you
the
guys.
recording. Thanks, everybody.